Hi guys and welcome to DriveSpark. I'm Promeet and today we are here at the BigRock Dirtpark, which is located in Kolar, Karnataka, and we are testing the all-new Royal Enfield Himalayan Scram. Now we'll start with this video and I will tell you everything about this motorcycle, what all has changed and what all remains the same. So without further ado, let's get started and I'll tell you everything you need to know about this all-new Royal Enfield Scram. So now before I start telling you about the motorcycle, I would like you to hear the exhaust note, and here we go. So that is how the all-new Royal Enfield Scram actually sounds. So now let's get to the front end and let's start from here. So a lot of things have changed on the front end. So the very first thing that I will tell you is the wheel size. Now over here you see it gets a 19-inch wheel at the front and a 17-inch wheel at the rear end. Now in the Himalayan you get a 21-inch wheel at the front and you get a 17-inch at the back. So what has happened is that now the motorcycle has slightly dipped down. So because of that, a lot of things have changed. Another very noticeable change, and that some people may like it a lot, and that is this headlight cowl. Now in the Himalayan, the headlight cowl, actually the headlight is attached to the front frame. So what happens is that when you turn the handlebar, the headlight did not turn. The headlight used to remain straight, and now the headlight turns with the motorcycle. Here you go. So basically some people did not like it back then. Some people went ahead and they changed that setup on the Himalayan. So now this absolutely looks fantastic, and you also get a front headlight that has a small LED DRL. So you got a pilot lamp that is present in LED over here, and the rest of the headlight features a halogen bulb. So in fact you get a halogen headlight, you get halogen indicators, but you get an LED tail light. Now overall the front end looks fantastic, and now you get these pinstripe on these wheels. Now these wheels are not alloy wheels, you can see they are spoke wheels and they obviously have a tube. So now coming over here, you get a single pod cluster over here that has been taken off from the Meteor. Now this cluster basically shows you your speed. The speed is present in an analog meter, and you also have a digital display over here that shows you your trip meter, your fuel gauge, and a lot of things that the bike requires, basically your odometer, your time, and gear position sensor also. So on this motorcycle you will also see a tripper navigation that is present. Now that is an additional accessory that you can purchase from the Royal Enfield store. You will not get it with the motorcycle as stock, you will have to purchase it separately, and yeah, it's a very helpful thing. You can have your turn-by-turn navigation, and you can get the voltage meter of the battery, and you can also display the time on this. One thing that I did not like is that some of the wires of the gauge are kind of exposed, so maybe with time this thing will get sorted. So now let's come to the side profile, and at the side profile you can see these two panels. Now in the Himalayan you used to get a frame over here. Now the frame is gone and these new side panels are over here. You get the Royal Enfield badging over here, you get the horn that is located over here. Also you can see that you get the R and the O. The R is present over here, but the O is continued on the panel, as you can see. Plus you get some stripes that run along the tank, and again in that vibrant color. So this looks very attractive. Now talking about the tank remains the same. It's a 15-liter tank carried over from the Himalayan. It will allow you to go around between 270 to 300 kilometers on a full tank, which is a good thing for a scrambler motorcycle. So moving on to the side panel over here. Now the side panel remains the same. The size of the side panel remains exactly the same. It has not been changed, but you get some new additions. You get these two slots over here that look really cool, and also you get the Himalayan Scram 411 badging on either side of the motorcycle. Again, that is present in this vibrant color. So basically this color will vary from motorcycle to motorcycle depending on the dual tone color you choose. So whatever color you choose, you will get the stripes on this and the badging like this. So especially we like this because again it's a very vibrant color, and this color especially makes the motorcycle stand out in the crowd. So now let's come to the seat of the new Scram. The seat, as you see, is a single piece seat, and there's a lot of cushioning on the seat. In fact, if I swing my legs on, I will show you now how you sit. So with the front wheel setup, that is a 19-inch and a 17-inch. So the front of the motorcycle has dipped down. In fact, the motorcycle has gone down a bit. So the Scram now gets a ground clearance of around 200 mm, but the Himalayan gets a higher ground clearance at 220 mm. But this has gone down because of the wheel setting that has been put on this 19 and 17. Also, the seat height has been reduced by 5 mm. So taller riders will obviously not face an issue, but the shorter riders will also not face an issue in stop and go traffic. They will not tiptoe and they can just ride wherever they can without hesitating or without tiptoeing or without falling off the motorcycle. And guys, one more thing, the Himalayan had the lowest seat height in its class, but since this is down by 5 mm, now this features an even lower seat height than the Himalayan, which is actually good. Taller riders won't have a problem at all, and the shorter riders will also find it comfortable because the seat height has gone down and they will not tiptoe. So talking about the seat is very comfortable. It is actually cushiony. It's a broad seat over here. It actually narrows down at the front, which is good for the rider because you don't have to spread your legs and sit so much. So the riding position on this, as you can see, you sit kind of upright. So the front end, since it has gone down, you have a much more comfortable riding position. You sit upright. Anyway, you used to sit upright on the Himalayan as well, but this is slightly more comfortable than that because again the handlebar has gone down because of the wheel size. So now let's talk about the pillion seat. So the pillion seat is slightly narrow, but it is very cushiony. It's very comfortable. But one disadvantage that it has over here is that it now sits slightly taller than the Himalayan. So you can see it's a single piece seat. This has a nice scoop over here for the rider, but this gets a very aggressive profile, and yeah, it sits tall, but overall the seat is very comfortable and it will not tire you out in long journeys at all. So one more thing, that the Himalayan used to get a rear luggage rack that used to be placed over here. Now that has gone, and you have this traditional grab rail, and it feels very sturdy and you can tie your luggage easily without worrying at all. The tail section over here, it features an LED tail light, as I told you earlier. So the rear end has been changed drastically. You get this mudguard that is new, and you also get these indicators that are placed over here. Now in the Himalayan, the indicators are placed, they are actually aligned with the tail light. So this, because of this setup, the rear end looks pretty broad and it looks new and it looks absolutely fantastic, especially with the LED tail light. Now another small change that I would like to point out is this heat shield over here. Now the Himalayan gets a silver color heat shield. Now this features a matte black color heat shield, which actually goes overall with the bike, which actually looks pretty cool. And talking about the exhaust is pretty much the same. It's just that this heat shield color has been changed. So these were all the changes done to the all new Royal Enfield Himalayan Scram. And as I told you, we compared it with the Himalayan. So yeah, there's a lot of things that have been changed and a lot of things that remain common and similar to the current generation Himalayan as well. So now let's get to the heart of the matter, and that is the engine on the all-new Royal Enfield Scram. Now the engine mechanically remains the same as you get it on the Himalayan. It's a 411cc single-cylinder air/oil cooled engine that produces 23.5 bhp of power and 32 Nm of peak torque. So this engine is mated to a 5-speed gearbox, and the gearbox is pretty slick. The shifts are really smooth, but sometimes you will have a problem of a false neutral, so that time you have to shift slightly harder, but that's not a problem. It does not come all the time, but yeah, it is there. It has not gone yet. Now since this is a scrambler motorcycle, we also tried the flat track circuit, which is at the BigRock Dirtpark, and over there the motorcycle fell into false neutral, shifting down from second to first. But I'll tell you one thing, that the motorcycle has enough torque in it to slide around the corner. I mean, we did it and we were pretty new in it. Please don't judge me in sliding the motorcycle, but yes, definitely you can slide the motorcycle. You just have to enter the corner, align yourself, put your leg out correctly and just give slide gas and counter it, and it will carry a slide properly. Now talking about the rideability of the motorcycle, now since the front end is much more closer to the ground thanks to the 19-inch alloy wheels now, you feel very connected to the motorcycle. You don't have to get used to riding it. You can just swing your legs over and just go out. You will not have a problem at all. Like, it does not matter if you are a short rider or a tall rider. It is just fantastic. There are very less vibrations. We did a short run while we were coming to this place and we were on the highway for like half an hour or so, but there are no vibrations till 100 and maybe 105. That is where the sweet spot of the motorcycle is. You can cruise in that all day. The motorcycle does not heat up. It is a fantastic engine, but post 105 or maybe 110 kilometers an hour is where the vibration starts kicking in from the handlebar and the foot pegs. And I noticed one thing. So when I was doing 110, maybe 115, the mirror started to shift its position and it went down. So that means Royal Enfield has to work on the mirrors. The mirrors vibrate a bit at high speeds. I mean, shifting the position of the mirror, that indicates that there are some amount of vibration that the motorcycle still has. So since this bike has around 32 Nm of torque, you get very good low end torque. Rideability is fantastic. As I told you, no vibrations. You can cruise at 100 all day, and if you are at a higher gear and you're at a lower speed, you can just give gas and the motorcycle will continue to roll. It will not stall. There's no strain on the engine. It will not feel like you have to shift down. You can just shift a gear down and you can overtake very easily, and that's why 23.5 bhp of power. You can just give gas and you will just overtake whatever you are overtaking with ease. There are no problem in overtaking whatsoever. And also at low speeds, as I mentioned, since the torque is high, so if you're at a higher gear, you can cruise all day at low speeds at high gear without stressing the engine at all. So the handling of the motorcycle has increased way better than the Himalayan, and that is because the motorcycle has lost some amount of weight. To be precise, it is approximately around 5 to 6 or maybe around 5 to 7 kgs. It is because of the front frame and the smaller wheel that you get up front. Overall guys, fantastic rideability. You can cruise all day thanks to the comfortable seat and thanks to the torquey engine. You can just cruise all day without hesitation. The engine does not heat up, it does not create any vibrations. So when we took the motorcycle on the off-road track, it felt very nimble, and we also took it on the flat track. As I mentioned, again very smooth. Maneuverability has increased immense. You can just flick it into corners and gas it out. Obviously on the flat track we were countering the steering, giving gas, and the bike was just sliding around with ease, no hesitation. You will not feel the weight of the motorcycle when you're riding it at all. Also, one more thing I would like to tell you. So since this does not get a fly screen like the Himalayan, there is a lot of buffeting, and there is no deflection of the gravels and the small pebbles that are thrown at you on the highway. Other than that, the motorcycle is fantastic to ride. Again, maneuverability is excellent, and about the brakes, braking is pretty decent. It gets the same hardware as the Himalayan. You get a dual channel ABS, and you cannot switch the rear end to slide it out. If you have to slide, you have to get into a corner, counter it and gas it out. So guys, this was the all-new Royal Enfield Scram, and this motorcycle is available in 7 different shades, out of which 4 are dual tone, and we expect the all-new Himalayan Scram to carry a starting price of rupees 2.1 lakh ex-showroom. And if you need to know anything else about this motorcycle, you can mention it in the comment section below and we will get back to you on that. Until then, if you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe to all the social media channels. I'm Pramit signing out. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, be safe and ride safe.